Alright guys, I messed up. I made a rookie mistake. So long story short, we were in the Bay Area this past couple days and I was planning on doing some riding while we were up there. But it happened to rain both days. So I ended up not riding because it was too wet and the trails would have been sloppy, and I don't like to mess up the trails. But anyways, I did something stupid and I left my bike on the rack outside while it was raining. And normally this wouldn't be an issue, but I have been neglecting some maintenance and upkeep on my bike lately. Been really busy, and now my bike looks like this. There's rust on the chain ring, and I'm kind of disappointed in myself. I'm pretty mad at myself for doing this. But needless to say, my bike has been, like I said, neglected for a little while. So I'm going to show you how to wash your mountain bike without a hose. And I'm also going to show you how I'm going to take care of this rust on the chain and just lube the bike up and get it ready for riding conditions again. Alright, so stay tuned and let's jump into it.
So let's take a closer look at this chain. Luckily, I think the majority of it is just surface rust, but I was still a little worried about the rust that got down in between the plates. So it was time to take the bike inside and get started on the restoration process. White distilled vinegar was my weapon of choice. I poured it in a Tupperware, took the chain off, and let it soak overnight. We'll revisit this in just a second. In the meantime, let's take care of this chain ring.
Take this brush here and just kind of soak it in white vinegar again. And this is just surface rust, so hopefully it'll come right off with just a little bit of scrubbing of a rough bristle brush. And look at that, it comes right clean, which is awesome. It seems like it's leaving a little bit behind, but you know what, it's even scraping off with my fingernail. So surface rust is good. If it doesn't come off with this brush, I'll just grab like a scour pad. Oh yeah, taking that rust right off of there. See, the nice thing is it doesn't scratch your chainring finish anyways. This is what I get. You pay the price. Don't take care of your stuff.
So this has been sitting overnight. It's been probably a little over 12 hours, 14 hours or so. And look at that. So in the bottom, you can actually see the rust particles that the vinegar has taken out from the chain. I didn't think that vinegar would act this fast, and so I'm gonna pull this chain out of here and set it on a towel, and then I'm just gonna look at that, sparkly clean. Okay, so I'm gonna actually start off with this muck off drivetrain cleaner here, and it actually works pretty well. I've used a little bit of it. These are just samples that I got from Seattle Classic. And then I'm just gonna feed the chain through this little tool that I've made with a couple of dollar store toothbrushes. So it works pretty well actually. Alright, and then I'm just gonna like put drops of it all over the chain just like this. I'm gonna do segments at a time and give it a really good scrub. It says let it sit for up to 2 minutes, so after I get this section soaked, I am gonna let it sit. This is quite a process, to be honest, but you can run your brush on it real fast. Okay, so now that I've rinsed all that degreaser off of there with some warm water again for the second time, I'm going to re-dry it off. And what's funny about that is I was actually reading an article on this on how to get rust off the chain, and it said the reason why that it rusted, you know, in the rain like that, is because the last time I cleaned it with degreaser, I didn't get all that degreaser out of the little corners and crevices, which then in turn didn't allow my chain lube to stick everywhere, and that's why it rusted. So make sure you guys are not making the same mistake as well. But once I get this dried off, we'll get the chain put back on the bike, and then we'll move on to washing it. Okay, so I still got some gunk and grime coming in, so I might honestly do this again, but I won't film it. I'm just gonna keep repeating the process until the chain comes clean. Okay, so I've got the chain rethreaded on the bike. I just need to put back my quick release back together. And then get it slid in, just like that. And we are good to go.
So since I live in an apartment, I don't have access to a hose right now, so I use this little garden sprayer. And you can pick these up anywhere for like 10 bucks, super cheap. But we're gonna pre-soak it first and then spray it down with muck off. So it says you're supposed to let it sit and let the chemicals like work its magic for like 2 minutes. But the sun's pretty powerful today. It's pretty hot out, so I don't think I have 2 minutes to let it sit. So I'm gonna go ahead and wipe it down with a microfiber cloth, and then we'll move on. So the next step is to water down the wheels, get them wet, and then I'm going to spray the muck off on them as well. Just be careful you don't put that muck off on your rotors. We're going to clean them off with isopropyl alcohol anyway, so.
And there you have it, folks, a restored drivetrain and a nice clean bike. I'm ready to ride again and can't wait to get back out on the trails. But until then, I'll see you on next week's episode. Peace out.